increase the cost. You could also have something locally, but you have to have space. So there's all kind of little issues like that, so I've tried to keep it very similar to what's currently being provided, and just improve on
Well,
it.
there was provisions in here for grass clippings and tree limbs, and that kind of debris pickup, it wasn't in here.
It's sort of an alternate type bid that in the event that a company provided that service, that a citizen could, you know, enter into a contract on their own with the company. But many companies might not even bid that portion of it. But that's sort of an alternate that I built into it to provide for an additional service if, not a mandatory service, but if the citizen chose it.
The city would be responsible for it,
Right.
That's right. If I called XYZ company up from my house and said, okay, I'd like to sign up for your limb pickup, your yard debris pickup, how much will you charge me? That's what I want them to bid on, so it'll be consistent, and you and I won't be paying different fees, just in different areas.
Right.
So anything else to do with Chuck and Big? We probably need to have taken it, need to have Attorney Barnett take out.
On page 25, paragraph D, if you'll just look at that, I've read it several times and I'm still not really sure. If you're clear with it, then that's okay, I'm just.
About the fee payment?
Uh-huh. Is that pertaining to if we were doing the collecting, or is that just okay at 1.5?
1.5% is basically 18% around if it's late.
Okay. But that doesn't impact the city, that would just be.
That's correct. That's sort of a default penalty
Okay.
for the company for a license fee that they'll be charged.
Okay.
And of course, if you all pick a time, say, okay, Scott, we're ready for it to be advertised, then you all can say, okay, February 15th, no earlier than that, we'll send it out on this date, then that's what we'll shoot for, and I'll adjust all the dates in there, whatever you tell me.
Okay, on the very last page where it's got says city-owned facilities designated for free once-a-week service. I know we have City Hall, but does anybody think of any other place that the city could probably get free service?
Get what service?
Free service, he's gonna try to get the city free service. See, we're paying right
I'm
now.
not going to try.
We're gonna do it, okay?
Well, if we don't have that identified right now, if it's to be determined, that means that we could.
Yes.
Do it in 11
You're
days.
saying to bid it out by the 15th, so we'll have one more council meeting in between anyway, so we can scrutinize it one more time.
Yeah,
You have,
and I'm indifferent on when you all say, okay, February 1, March 1, I'm indifferent with what you tell me to do.
and
I think Ronnie's been asking for this for a while, so I'd like
yeah,
for
we
us
all
to try to
think
get
it's
it,
a good idea.
try to get it moving forward as soon as,
people.
try to get it moving
Yeah, I think
forward as soon as we can.
Will that give you sufficient time to complete that if we were to look at it? If we were to shoot as a target, shoot for 15th as a target date, for it to be ready to go out to bid?
I can do it, absolutely.
Someone wanna make that motion?
When's our next, we got a meeting in February,
Mhm,
this week before that.
Let's see when our next meeting is.
Just looking at it.
12th. 12th.
Okay, well, that worked out just right.
That's what it is. So that would allow us to look at it on the 5th, and that would still give you almost 2 weeks to.
No, we don't have one on the 5th, we have one on the 12th. The 5th is the first one.
Second and fourth Mondays.
So it gives 3 days, but by that point, there shouldn't be a lot, and there shouldn't really be anything in there to change.
I'm happy with that.
Does someone want to make that motion?
Target that day.
15th, we'll target that date, and
Thank you.
you'll see the document one more time if that's the case.
I think he said we could need a motion.
Don't need one, you just give me the instructions and I'll go.
That's what they want, so let's go for it. Okay, next on the agenda is Police Chief Conference. Tony, you want to?
Yeah, I've got a price for lodging for the Chiefs Conference. And the price is $114 a night, and that's February 25th through the 28th. So the total would be $456. And I think that any other costs associated with that have already been approved as part of the budget, is that right?
James, has everything else been approved that you, for that conference, other than your room?
Yeah.
Meals and all that?
So I'd like to make a motion to expend that $456 for the lodging for the Chiefs Conference.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Cowan,
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman,
Yes.
Councilperson Massey,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Aldridge,
Yes.
Councilperson Brown,
Yes.
Mayor Bradley.
Yes. Next, we have the employee vacation accrual and employee handbook. I think Cassie put y'all a copy of what's in the handbook. The problem we're having is that it states that you can roll over your vacation, your sick days, but it does not state that you can roll over any vacation time. And she also put in and we don't have to vote on this tonight, you can look at this and try to get some more, I do know that we need to do it on the next meeting because she has to turn this over to payroll services for them to be able to accurately document it on the pay stubs and all. So I'm asking y'all to look at what other cities may have in place. She did get trustables and she put it in there just for y'all to, kind of get a guideline. But it does state that you can carry over 30 days sick days, but it does not say anything about vacation. So we probably need to put something in the handbook, amendment to the handbook or something to, some kind of guideline for the vacation. So we won't vote on that, I just wanted that in there for your information. Okay, next we have did anyone have anything to add to that or any questions about that? Okay, next we have our severe weather preparedness tax holiday on February the 23rd through the 25th. And she needs to get this in tomorrow because the deadline is tomorrow if we want to participate in this.
We need a proposal, a resolution to.
We have an ordinance, I have an ordinance already attached to your,
Okay, so,
we need a motion to do this
make a
and
motion to approve the ordinance as written.
do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Mayor, this is the typical state recommended ordinance for one time.
One time, it is.
The reason I ask is ordinance was a permanent impact, had to go through 2 readings.
Mhm.
And so with that not being the case here, it's appropriate for it
Yes.
to be assumed tonight.
Yes.
Okay, so,
We have a motion and a second.
and that's just for this year then?
Yes, just for this, the 23rd, the 25th. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Cowan,
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman,
Yes.
Councilperson Massey,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Aldridge,
Yes.
Councilperson Brown,
Yes.
Mayor Bradley.
Yes. Next, we have Mayor Council comments. I would like to let everyone know that we have a fire truck down. Chief Platts is here. Is it still in the shop, Chief Platts?
It is.
We also have a police car that was down. James, Chief, do we have it back yet, or is it still shop?
These 3 more days in the body shop, then about 4 more days in the bumper shop.
Okay.
Have you heard anything on the new ones?
Not a word, Spring hasn't got theirs either. They were theirs in August.
What happened to the police car?
That's the one that was, James, do you want to explain what happened to that, please?
Yeah, they were driving through Summit one night, we'll have the under truck back out of the driveway, hit the side of the police car and all the way down the side of it. Men's truck was drunk. About $1,800 damage there.
That's the last thing you want to do, is be drunk in the cop.
Thank you, Chief.
I mean, you know.
Chief Pastor, we have any, did they giving you any timeline on the truck?
Still trying to find the exact part with the sensor, and Cummings and the company we bought the truck are having a hard time locating that exact sensor. That's not a hard fix, it's just once they find the part, get the part here.
Okay, do you want to go over your list of what you've turned into, do you have that with you? Of what you've turned into the insurance adjuster?
I don't have that with me.
You want mine, or you want me to, do y'all have a copy of this? This is the list that has been turned over to the adjuster. And I'm going to let him read what all he's turned in, since he's the one that's.
I wasn't aware you wanted me to go over that, or I'd had more
That's-
information.
that's-
Everybody's got a copy of this?
I'm going to let you go ahead and do this too, Mr. Collins, since it concerns.
Things that have been replaced due to smoke damage and some heat damage on some things. One, the door opener that was right above the fire had been replaced. Biggest thing on this type of products that were burnt is the caustic nature of the smoke. It's a wholly caustic, electrical terminals, things like that corrode over time. So the insurance adjusters agreed to replace these items in advance before we start having problems with them. Some of the things we're already having problems. They replaced the door opener. That was $1,425. We had to have our breathing air compressor cleaned and recertified. That was $512. We have what they call a seat equipment organizer. That the windows were down in the brush truck, and the carpet, there was a carpet box that the guy had made actually that can't be cleaned, so it had been replaced. The cord reel that fed over the power over to the charger and onboard air compressor for the engine was burned up. The trash can was burned up. We replaced all the mattresses upstairs, which included 6 twin extra long mattresses and 1 queen mattress. The radio in the bay was burned up. We replaced it as well. That's just a radio the guy listened to. We replaced the floor mats if they were contaminated. We replaced the washer and the dryer. We took it apart to look at it, and the inside of it was actually black on the inside of the unit. So it was contaminated with that carcinogen and corrosive materials. We replaced all 4 of the recliners upstairs. They were contaminated. The grill was replaced. That was inside the bay right next to the fire. And 3 chairs in a BP station being replaced, as well as the 2 heart monitors from the truck. The truck was in the shop at that time as well. For another issue, all the equipment was laid out on the bay floor, and when that equipment got exposed, it had to be cleaned and recertified.
Have they recertified it yet, or?
They have recertified.
So we're not going to have to replace the whole motor?
Correct.
Great, that's fantastic.
And that was right around $600. Just got the invoice for that.
Tell them how much those machines would have cost us if we'd had to replace those things.
They're about $32,000 each. The insurance company was all about us getting them clean and recertified.
I bet.
The carpet is going to be replaced in the lower hallways. We're accepting bids on that. And as well as the carpet, the entire carpet upstairs is going to be replaced. Don't have any prices on that, but it is going to be replaced. The entire bay, the contractor's lined up to get order the paint. You got to order 200 gallons of paint to paint the bay, which is going to be a time-consuming, tedious job, because every pipe, every beam from the ceiling to the floor is going to be totally painted with 2 coats of paint to match. The front side of the building will be painted to match. The floors will be come back and do a repolish on the floors. The day room will be repainted as well as the ceiling tile replaced. The bill for the cleanup, which we're going back and forth, the adjuster and DEC are going back and forth on now, but I believe it was like $42,000 just for the cleanup crews to come out and do their thing and all the stuff they brought. But it's turned into quite an expensive ordeal for just the small incident we had in the bay, but it made a mess of everything. We're still in the process of, but the contractors are lined up. We're just a matter of getting them out here as soon as the paint comes in, to come in for them to start doing that. And once we get that done, we'll replace the carpet. We're gonna wait, for obvious reasons, do the carpet last.
Yes, sir.
The stuff that was disposed of, was it disposed of as garbage, taken to a dump? What condition was it disposed of?
It's gonna be disposed of in the dump. We discussed about donating it to somebody or something, but then we decided to clean it. It's contaminated with carcinogens, but so it's not,
That's the one I was asking. I didn't know if it was taken to the dump or
it has not yet, but it is.
washers and dryers and things like that.
A few of the items, the adjuster asked us to keep for a few more days, like the treadmill that was actually burned up, just in case anything comes back on it, that we can do a further investigation, that type of thing. But other than that, everything's kept. And other than that, it'll be disposed of at the dump. We're gonna have to load stuff up and take it to the dump.
The carpet and all that kind of stuff, that'll be our responsibility to dispose of. The mattresses, the carpet, and those.
Correct. The company's gonna be paid to pull it out and install new, but we'll be responsible for hauling off the debris afterwards.
That would be part of the insurance payment.
I think the insurance would pay for that.
I'll try to get them to agree to that. That's a good thing. The insurance company is paying for everything, minus our deductible, $500. I think it's $500 deductible. In the long run, we're coming out better. I don't like to say it like that, but
He's been very cooperative, and he's been working with Mike on just about everything everything he's run by him so far. He's been very.
right.
But we know this comes at a cost.
He's actually pointed out more things that I'm not aware of on some of the electronics and things like that. So, any questions on that? Mr. Collins gave us a document from the Zoning and Building Trades Tower Incorporated. They're a union that owned a building downtown years ago. They sold it and put the money in a trust. Every year they have money that interest, and they give the department's donation. They gave us a donation for $1,500 this year. He's been really good about coming to us and saying it's time to donate money again. So we're happy to take it. But he lives out in this area. He's taking really good care of us. He comes out every year and donates that money. We don't have to, most people have to track him down and beg him for money.
Very nice man, too. Does anyone else have any other questions for Chief Platt? Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Any of the council members have anything to add?
I do. I apologized last week for our last meeting for my conduct, and I'd like to apologize again. And I am going to try to be more restrained, but at the same time, I still think we need to have our lawyer go through our timeline and be sure that we've done everything right. And I'm making a formal request now that we do that.
And you mean the timeline?
From the time we were voted into office to the time, what you can account for from the time we hired you, I'm assuming. And make sure that we followed the right procedure for what we've done here.
And I'll say this, for the most part, the conferences dealing with, the few that we've had, dealing with the subject. That was part of what I was tasked to do during that process. And much of my decision has been based on historical data, based on how that has been handled historically. And that had a large emphasis on the final outcome of the situation. So I will be happy to construct that again, timeline.
And is it okay, I'm not the only one that's, uncomfortable with the way we're doing it. I realize I've lost the battle, I understand that, but at the same time, I'll make a list of things, if that's okay with you, of things I'm worried about.
Okay.
And I'll pass it to the other council members and to the mayor. And it'll be a short list, but, there's a lot of stuff that I'm just not comfortable with.
Do you mind passing that to me and letting me circulate it?
Yeah.
In that
Yeah,
fashion?
and if you wish, I'll bring it to you.
And I say that because in the event that you all are having me look at certain questions, whatever they may be, that's legal work product, it's privileged, and I would suggest that in the event that those questions do come and their concerns, that they remain that way until the full body decides to do something
Well, I
different.
think actually, we should go into executive session so we can discuss it candidly.
I'll be happy to put that together and look at the opening and absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other council member have anything to add?
I would just like to thank Deanne is here tonight, and I would just like to thank her for her hours that she worked with me and others on shelving the books out in the lobby. If you haven't noticed them yet, if you would take a look out there at all the books that we brought from Asheville, and Deanne has been very instrumental in helping organize all that, and I just wanted to tell her how much I appreciate her time.
Anyone else? Any public comments or anyone sign the list? Okay, go ahead.
For the record, I wasn't here the last meeting, so I don't know what happened or anything, but anyway, as you probably know, we're residents of Katy Lane.
Would you state your name, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, David Garrett.
Okay.
We're residents of Katy Lane, and we're still issuing what's, and I heard Corky say earlier before we got too far underway that the paving has been pushed back a little bit until we get the culvert put in.
Not yet, but if that's what Dan Dalkey's our county engineer, and he's consulting with us, agreed to help us with it, because it's such a project, we couldn't get a reasonable set of documents out for people to bid on. He's gonna help us with that.
Right.
And there's no way we'll get the culvert fixed before we get the paving project. They're supposed to come in May. I'm saying up and down the hill, the steep part of the hill is supposed to be plant mix. I don't mind, and I'm saying this will be my recommendation. It won't be I don't make the rules, but they could go ahead while they've got the equipment in town and do the tar and gravel up on the flat parts, from the fork going out toward your house. They could do that and then do the plant mix out, and even if they can't get back with it, we may can rebid it with McCartney their McCartney's price would be compatible to the price that the county gave us for paving that deal. So, if we have to put it off, we can probably get either whoever can get to it first.
Right. So you're not going to do the hill right now. In the next, you're just going to do the top part.
We'll do and that's what I'm saying. That's just my suggestion. And we haven't met with Dan out there yet, and I may be completely wrong, but and you tell me, does that make sense to you? Because if we go down through there and pave it now, and then 3 months from now, we end up going and tearing out the pipe and everything, we'll have to redo. We'll be doing a lot of it twice.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to do that. That's just more cost.
But at the same time, they can do some more repairs on the steep part while they're there doing repairs for the tar and gravel.
Well, on the culvert, isn't there a grant or federal money set
Yeah,
aside
we didn't
for
get,
this?
what, 12,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 12 or 15,000, and we've actually sent a letter to emergency management and asked them, you know, to relook at that and get an extension on it, because quite frankly, the $12,000 to $15,000 wouldn't do anything but put a Band-Aid on it. And
Well, it wouldn't even do a good Band-Aid.
that's right.
Has there been a bid on that as of yet?
Took 3 and the least one was twice that much, wasn't it?
Yeah, it-
And it was so much lower than the other two, we're afraid that it's completely wrong.
yeah, and what they actually wrote in that grant really didn't cover the work that needed to be done.
So we've asked, we're resubmitting, and they've got us on hold. They're not doing any of this kind of stuff right now because of the 2 hurricanes we had last year that were so bad. They're swamped with that, and they told us that we were suspended until they can, so we're kind of having to wait on them anyway.
Well, I know you know what it looks like, and I'm just, concerned if the spring rains come, there's always that potential. And then there's not gonna be any access in and out at all.
My worry is that if that one gives, then everybody on down below it's gonna give too, because of all that concrete and all that stuff going down through there. It's probably gonna wipe out more than just.
We probably don't care about the last one down there.
Don't say that.
That's all it is.
But Dan and I discussed too today, we're on top of it. We're trying to do the best we can with it, but, we haven't got enough money to do it on our own. We've got to wait for FEMA.
Right.
And, we've been thinking building head walls on the pipe that's there, but now we're thinking maybe, and Tony can tell you, the pipe that's there is already deteriorated. So we're thinking now, putting twice or 3 times as much pipe and putting riprap at each end instead of the expense of the walls, the head walls, and make it a slope and riprap so it won't wash. And Dan's gonna look at that and get some opinions elsewhere. And we think we can do that a lot cheaper than we can do
Do
the
we know
concrete.
what's the weight limit of that crossing?
A culvert usually won't. It's, bridges, you see a lot of it, but as far as box culverts and arch pipes, I think we need to entertain putting in concrete.
Well,
I don't think it would cost, once you get that big, I don't think it would cost much difference.
so I did some checking in with a sales engineer I know with a big metal pipe company, and I'm thinking there may end up being a fairly significant difference in the cost of materials. Because I got a price, and he hasn't seen this, but I sent him photographs and estimated some probably not good estimates, but I gave you some estimates on the linear footage. But, so the prices that he gave me was around, for just the pipe, I think it was around $2.17 a square linear foot. And that's for that's a 112 by 75 Rs, 10 gauge
No,
for lifted loads,
$279.
$217 linear foot.
Okay, you said 279?
Sorry. Yes, 217.
Okay.
So, and that's for, that is for aluminized pipe. He said, looking at it, you're talking about the deterioration. If you think, when you've been over there and looked at that stuff, that's all sandy and rocky. He said, it's really not a problem. There's not a problem with the acid content of the soil. It's actually those fines moving through there.
Abrasion instead of corrosion.
Correct. So he recommended going to an aluminized.
We should price, I think we should price concrete too.
Absolutely. And one advantage that I was thinking of with that, the reason that I called him, the advantage I was thinking of is, if we gotta get, concrete pipe out there and install it that's that big, we're gonna have to have a large piece of equipment.
And we will for this too.
A track hole to put that in, that's gonna come one piece. If it ended up being 35
Crack
feet
coat,
long,
put the concrete in
you
too.
put it in,
Not this big
no,
concrete.
it's gonna be
That would be a
one
monster.
section. Yeah.
We can find that out too, you know, they can tell us
We need to get all
what kind
of
of machine it takes to.
We need to get all in the price, but I was just gonna think about that for a week.
I think I'm gonna try to report back to us at the next meeting.
Yeah,
as to
but
what y'all-
Dan, well, we couldn't get lined up with Dan for tomorrow. We had tentatively agreed on tomorrow, but we got some conflicts. So I'll have to call him again tomorrow and see if we, kind of come up with a time. I'll see if we can match.
Bonnie, do you have anything else to add to what they've already said?
Do you have anything?
Just time. How long is it gonna take them to that's another time.
Does anyone else have any questions for Mr. Garrett?
You know, we're kind of concerned on the time. We have a neighbor here that's trying to sell her house, and she's getting a lot of complaints about the road, and it's hindering her from selling her house.
Dan says they expect to be in there in May. He can do the tar and gravel part first, and then, like I say, we'll let him do the patchwork on the steep part that he's gonna do, and then, I don't see any choice, but if we, well, I just hate to do it twice,
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work out timing-wise, to be honest with you.
because there's no way we'll get back in before Dan and them were there in May.
No, if we got, I mean, if we're talking about spending over $50,000, we're gonna have to figure out where that money's gonna come from. Again, this,
Yeah, or get FEMA to cough it up for us, cost more, a lot more.
that's what we've asked, and that's what we hope for, but I don't have a lot of confidence.
You don't have a lot of confidence in them helping out, a little more cost.
And look at, we probably, Tony's being optimistic, thinking $50,000.
No, I know it's gonna be a lot more than that, but what I'm saying is, that they get money for a disaster. You've got a time frame to spend that money, based on my experience with it. And once that time frame is passed and that money's spent, then that disaster's kind of closed out, unless it's already up. This was written as a small project. If it was a large project, we'd go in there and do the work, and then whatever the total cost would come out to be, if they gave us a $35,000 grant, it actually ended up being 50, they would give us a difference. But since it was written as a small grant, that's not how they do it. You get what you get. So
And they did give us an extension.
that's what we're, well, they haven't even responded to that,
I thought we
the
had,
extension.
Not the last one, not the last one. Okay.
So we don't have a time on the extension.
I mean, we gotta wait on FEMA, you know, they're good when they're there.
We just don't want to be caught up that we've now got more than one set of families that have health issues. And we just don't want to be caught up there. With you guys not being able to get there with the fire people carrying the stuff up there, up that hill. Y'all have been up that hill. Walking up that hill is not fun.
Well, like I said, we're dealing with it the best we can.
I understand.
I'll
So,
make sure that we get some more patching done when the county
well,
comes.
I'm just talking as well about the bridge. It's
Yeah,
you guys
well-
don't want to have to be the fire extinct, the ambulance on one side and then.
Well, we haven't got $150,000 or $200,000 just to go do it ourselves without FEMA helping us for sure.
I get it. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Link?
I'm fine.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Aye. Thank y'all, appreciate your time.